Salutations, my friends. This is Colrain or Colrain Tarot here on YouTube. My pronouns are they, them, and today what we are going to dive into in this tarot reading is a closer look at a dream that you've had recently, and to give you some kind of clarity in a spiritual sense, or if you're not going to use this in a spiritual fashion, then we're going to look at this dream from a sense of like deeper psychological meaning, understanding themes, motifs, and how this translates into your everyday waking life. Dream interpretation has been used in Jungian psychology to understand the deeper subconscious mind and what the themes and symbols are trying to communicate. And this leads me to how I'm going to interpret this. I'm going to use a mix of clairvoyance and claircognizance to kind of pull out some of these themes, meanings, little like symbols that are going to be attached to the way that this dream manifests in your daily like waking life, because our dream mind or our subconscious mind only speaks in pictures, so it only speaks in symbols. This is the way that we communicate in this subconscious realm, and our subconscious mind does not really communicate in terms of language or the ways that we've socially constructed communication between others. And so that's where dreams can be really useful in seeing things in a metaphorical picture. So please, as always, start to use your own discernment, ground into the body, start to meditate into your own space, into your own intuition, the ways that spirit communicates with you or your higher self or your superconscious mind, however you want to see it. Start to get into this space of receptivity and analysis and connection with your own self in order to discern what messages are meant for you. So if you are already getting ready to select a pile, I will let you do whatever you see fit, but this is pile 1 with the bloodstone round piece, pile 2 with this sodalite chip deep blue color, and then pile 3 with this blue tiger's eye beautiful little cube. So if you are ready and you feel drawn to a pile, I will see you there. Bye, my friend. Hello, pile 1. If you selected this bloodstone tumbled piece, then this is your dream reading. So I'm starting to tap into your energy, and I just want to invite us to cleanse this space a little bit. I'm shaking a lavender. Oh, it's not wanting to spray, but I was going to spray it to cleanse the space, but we can just shake it. This lavender amethyst crystal mist. And I'm just going to invite you again, like in the beginning, if you missed that part, just to start to sink into your own meditative and intuitive space in order to understand the messages that are meant for you and you specifically today, since this is a general reading. Now, I'm going to start with the Wild Unknown Tarot, and this is going to indicate to me as a reader what your astral body consists of, the energy that is residing there, the way that you dream, the way that your conscious mind connects to your subconscious mind. We have the Emperor. This is a tree. I am feeling like there is some indication of throat issues, or it almost seems like some of you may have dreams where you're screaming a lot, or you're trying to yell. You're trying to take authority or command over your dream space, and it seems that your conscious mind is really the one, or your ego mind, the one that feels that you can control or take the driver's seat of an experience, is the one that is kind of calling the shots, making the moves here, and trying to get some understanding of how to navigate the astral realm. And if you don't know what the astral realm is, the astral realm just simply indicates the dream space, or a space of emotion and pure energetic, like consciousness form. And this is where I personally, in my studies, see the dream landscapes emerging and being able to be overlapped with other planes of existence. And so this Emperor here shows that not only you have some strong connections, I feel, but you also have some strong responsibilities and authorities that are here. So something that you could experience a lot is dreams where you see other people and you're offering advice, or dreams where other people are trying to take power from you, and they may metaphorically represent times when you feel that your power is not yours to give, and it may feel somewhat entrapping. I don't know why that's the word, but like confining for you to be in this state. But there's something about you having a continuation of your lived experiences through this astral plane, and this could even be beyond lifetimes if you believe in that, or if you find that that's relevant in your life, but there's something about not blocking your power here, and finding networks of others who could benefit from your energy and the lessons you're learning in this lifetime, and so you seek that out. So let's get a closer idea of what this dream that you're asking about is actually going to mean for you in this reading today. And I have 3 cards here from the Beyond Lemuria Oracle cards by Izzy Ivy. And these are all, I want you to take a look at them. They came out in reverse, but I'm not going to keep them reversed. They all came out together, and do you see this color scheme that's emerging? Let me move the Emperor card off to the side because this is our anchor card. But do you see how there's a color scheme going on, and there's something floating above the head of all 3 of these figures? What kind of emotions start to come up when you think of your dream contrasted against these purples, blues, whites, even a little pink in there, some turquoise? How do you think that these colors relate? Turquoise represents the heart-mind, or our true desires, the experiences of true self-expression. Purple represents identity, our spiritual identity. It can represent the crown chakra, the spiritual knowing. White also is a color of the crown chakra as well. And with the butterfly here, this is a opening. There's also on either side something over the throat chakra, and then here something over the heart chakra. So if you don't resonate with chakra systems, this can just be signifying and signaling this area, the throat, the way that you communicate, feeling somewhat restricted or feeling stressed. This is high tension. And then not being able to communicate with the heart. The heart is wanting to open and see a different way of experiencing. And I'm trying to pick up on some of what this dream may be, but it may not be fully clear until I get into these dream interpretation cards that I have. So let me start to lay these out so you can see. I think the most important thing in getting a reading is also your own participation in discerning what this might mean to you, based on what I am also prompting you to think of from my own intuitive space. So I'm going to read to you what's on these cards while you can look at these, because they have descriptions on the back. They're a little lengthy. Okay, so this card right here is called Internal Explorer. Here, actually, let me hold it to you upright. Internal Explorer. When we stop looking outside ourselves and surrender to a soft inner focus, we have access to unlimited information and resources. When we stop thinking with the glass ceiling of our intellect, we have access to multidimensional wisdom from the collective consciousness. Everything is there within you, waiting for expression. You are invited to explore the state of flow. You are infinitely amazing you are an infinitely amazing being who can access collective consciousness, especially when you surrender some control to the greater process or get out of your own way. You have the permission you felt you needed. Go within and explore. Wonderful gifts are waiting for you. This is reminding me of maybe having dreams that really do pertain to a logical or rational experience of oneself. And so you may have experiences that are not even really that otherworldly, but like I said before, you visit people and you give them advice and this kind of a thing. And so some of that really rooted and material, mundane type of experience may be reflected to you in your dreams, and you may get advice, I'm hearing, for like making big decisions. There's also something about being able to represent yourself more authentically here. Trust your inner sense. So again, something about the internal world, this intuitive, this expressive form of yourself that is being awakened in your dream state and moving beyond this physical reality, getting you to see things beyond the 3D and seeing things in a more multidimensional form. I'm only going to read a little bit of this, but it says, to distinguish truthful inner guidance from paranoia, we must return to innocence, our purest essence. Here we have access to the truth of our being. Honesty is more than not lying to yourself. It is also about not withholding and having deep transparency within yourself. So you're definitely having a lot of, again, with these mundane type of things, you may have very realistic images coming through in your dreams, or things that make sense to the people and the places and the experiences that you have around you. And your feelings and emotions that come up in these dreams are giving you a sense of what you're actually experiencing. So you may have a bit of a less of a barrier to your own deeper subconscious desires in the metaphors that you're seeing in your dreams. Thirdly, this card right here with the blue, there's new blueprints. Powerful, meaningful change starts with you today. Despite our desire for change, we can be overwhelmed by all that is going on, and making a positive impact can seem impossible. We have more of a voice than we realize. Okay, I'm not going to finish reading all of this. This is just about taking action and moving forward. And again, that thing about the voice. So there's definitely something about you needing to express something deeper. You may be having conversations with people, fleshing them out in your dream space in order to create these opportunities in real life. And with these 4 cards along the bottom, we have travel, loneliness, books in the reverse, and flying. These energies are interesting. It's almost like you go to different places and you travel almost in the earth plane, I'm seeing. Sunflowers also represent like this self-worth, this self-confidence. So it's like, and here's another butterfly going on. So there's like a transformation that occurs when you travel to these different places. You may be going to places that you recognize in your waking life. I do feel like you're not really traveling into past lives or anything super highly spiritual. It's more of understanding what's going on in your waking life, and then taking responsibility for how you cannot put yourself in these positions again, and understand what they mean for you in a very profound and personal way. With the loneliness card here too, I feel that you may be pretty lonesome. Pretty lonesome, and feeling like other people, you're not really connecting with other people when you're meeting them on the astral. It's almost like you're collecting data rather than spending time with somebody or making bonds or trying to understand your connections. This pile is interesting because when I was tapping into your energy, like even with this solitary tree, there's something about personal empowerment that's really important in this group. And having this person look through the books card over to this flying, again, there's something about movement, about travel, about being in one place like your bed, but being miles and miles away. This person looking through to this energy. It's as though you're trying to find comfort, find peace, find this inner self-knowledge with these books too. trying to expand into seeing things in a bit of a metaphorical way. With this person presenting the little Rubik's Cube here, it's like you're definitely working through a puzzle, trying to illuminate your experience, not feel so alone or feel so trapped by your body, by your experience. I feel like a lot of you possibly have some karmic experiences that have occurred in this lifetime that you are working through. And once you start to trust your own feelings and understandings of what needs to change in your life, you're going to release yourself from these bonds. That's all I'm seeing for you, pile 1. I really do hope that this helped you understand a bit more about your dreams in general, or what specific dream you were asking about. I want to thank all of the guidance that has gathered here today to assist in this reading, and all of the forces in the universe that have pulled us together today for this beautiful connection. I'm sending you so much love, so much abundance, and I will see you in another video. Bye. Hello, pile 2. If you selected this soda light chip, or pile 2 is just calling your name, then this is your reading. So I am going to remind you, as I did at the beginning of the video, but if you weren't there for that, it's all right. I just want to remind you again to start to get into a calm or relaxed state where you feel that you can start to discern or feel into the messages that are meant for you today, and figure out how this applies in your own life and in your own spiritual journey. So I'm going to start with my cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot, and this is going to reflect to me your astral body, which can carry your emotions, your spiritual resonance from multiple lifetimes. I am feeling that this pile is a bit more spiritual. You guys are a bit more inclined to translate your life through the lens of spiritual or metaphorical experiences. I'm picking up on a lot of Pisces energy, Gemini energy as well, just more mutable signs. And there's a bit of this desire to not just suffer spiritually and take some kind of accountability for what this means. And so I want to see what the anchor of this reading is going to be, what connects your conscious mind to your subconscious mind at this time. And we have the Lovers and the Five of Wands, and I'm feeling called to separate these cards and have them on either side of the reading, because I feel that these are polarities in yourself. The Lovers does represent polarization, things being on two separate spectrums or two complete opposite ends, but also harmonizing with each other in order to create a beautiful and harmonious spectrum of experience. This can also indicate the coming together, the unification of more than one being into one whole unit. I am feeling that a lot of you meet other people on the astral realm, and you're either fighting in a spiritual war, if that makes sense. So some kind of, with this Five of Wands, some kind of challenges that feel highly spiritual and collective as well, and helping the earth plane to progress and evolve and move forward, as well as finding your own ability to progress and evolve and move forward and harmonize your own soul's connections and meaning in this lifetime with others who are also on a similar frequency as you and are people we may call soulmates, twin flames, karmic connections, but not so much karmic connections, because I feel like there's a negative association with that. But and I don't know how well I resonate with the term of twin flames in general, because I feel like it is more of a social construct rather than a spiritual construct. But I hope that you understand what I'm trying to say there with that connecting with other souls, other spirits, even guides as well, who really guide you along. I also feel like you have a knack for contacting the deceased in your dreams. You may have a lot of premonitions about death, or you just have a connection to the other side, or people who have passed on in this lifetime that communicate to you. This could even be like celebrities or people who are maybe not celebrities, but I'm thinking of like famous people, like philosophers or inventors, people like that just have some kind of status, or even royalty on some level, that just have some kind of spiritual awareness or awareness, like an immortal type of energy to them. And they could be seen as ascended masters or guides as well. So, and there's something about you taking these like challenges or miscommunications that happen on the astral, because things are so metaphorical, and you're translating them into things that are very easy to discern. There's a lot of mercurial energy in this pile as well. So let's get into the specific dream that you actually are asking about today. And we have 4 cards here. I'm not going to read all of them because they have pretty long descriptions, but I want to start to invite you to ask yourself how these cards line up with the imagery of your dream life. I'm starting to see like red boots, like rain boots, river, umbrella. There's something about rain and weathering a storm, possibly. There's also something about I know this card is about ascending, because there's the ladder here, moving up levels of consciousness. There's a strong emphasis on the third eye as well with this imagery coming out. Again, with the spectrums, these are multiple cards that have rainbows. I feel like while this card's devoid of color, this card is completely fused with color. It's like reconciling with the values of things and how they fit in relation to each other. I feel like you're also somebody who explores very non-physical experiences in your dreams. You may talk to deities and consciousness forms, or not talk to, but like communicate with this throat chakra card coming out, communicating with these very non-physical beings in pure consciousness states in order to break down a lot of illusions of duality, separation, distinction, definition in this earthly realm, in order to bridge gaps as well and bring down higher levels of consciousness in order to remedy some of these fear-based experiences in the earth plane at this time. I'm really being drawn to reading this card in particular, and this is Journey to Wholeness. Love from a sense of wholeness. We may not have we may have concepts of others that are not really who they are due to subconscious projections or ideals. We could have the idea that we will feel much better about ourselves when we achieve a goal or status. This takes us out of the present and puts conditions on love. Hold the vision that you and others are already perfect. Thus, we can heal through the transformative power of acceptance, acknowledge the full spectrum, and bring any fractured parts back to the present moment. Here we are whole and empowered to step into the brightest version of ourselves. And that's really interesting because I was just saying something about you connecting things on a whole spectrum of awareness. There's also the wings motif coming up. So I feel like you can move and travel very unrestricted in the astral plane. A lot of people have like karmic things or belief systems in their waking lives that prevent their like super conscious mind from connecting to their conscious mind. And I feel like you don't have a lot of these barriers because you're very open to various experiences. And what this is saying to me here as well is stop trying to possibly define your relationships in the waking world, because they're being opened up to a whole different level of awareness in your astral experience. And I feel like as this relates to a dream that you've been asking about, we're looking at this in a totally non-physical way, in a very metaphorical sense. So let me use these dream interpretation cards to dive a little bit deeper and see what these metaphors are going to be. I don't want to read this card in reverse. We have shoes, card 11, exceptionality, card 33, and card 4, fighting. So just purely numerology wise, these cards have 2 master numbers. So again, like I said, you're communicating with masters or ascended masters who are teaching you specifically about love, about finding people that have good intentions, and who also want to see the collective move forward in a really progressive and abundant way rather than in a mode of scarcity as well. There's something about you being an exceptional leader for your generation or for generations behind you or something. So there's something about what you're doing in this lifetime that really has to do with pulling others forward, bringing their consciousness forward as well, and asking big questions about the in-betweens of life, or reading in between the lines. Some of you also may have very rational or practical jobs in the waking world, and a lot of people don't see you necessarily as a spiritual mentor or anything, but you do bring spiritual mentorship through these more logical or rational pathways where people aren't necessarily seeking out spirituality, but you definitely embody that and bring that to them. And this may be why you are in your dream world experiencing things that are very non-rational, because you need to be able to translate these very consciousness-based things into a very physical form. With the shoes here, it's reminding me of Hermes, who there's so much I could say about Hermes, but I'm going to keep it a little bit short. But Hermes is seen as the diviner, the one who creates astrological associations, some medical associations as well, and is basically a translator or messenger for the gods or the divine. And so for you, it's like you're bringing messages for people. It's almost like you enjoy this, you signed up for this. This is something that you would normally do outside of an earth experience, and this is how it translates into your waking life, is that you then also carry these messages with you and try them on. It's almost like with shoes, you can put them on and then take them off. So it's like you may slip into roles very easily to be able to bring these different messages. And I feel like this is also giving you an advantage with this. I'm seeing this as like a checkerboard, so some people might not understand it, but you're trying to pinpoint exactly what strategic move you're going to make in the earth plane as well, and that's why you're communicating with these masters. As far as fighting, this is creating a stable and unbreakable experience for you, and you're setting up a provision for yourself. I feel like there's a lot of prophecy involved in this group as well, so you are becoming prophetically involved in what is going to occur, like next steps in your life. That's all I'm seeing for you, pile 2. I want to thank every guide, every force that came together to facilitate this reading, assist with the reading, bless the reading as well today. And I want to offer you so much love and so much abundance, and I will see you in another video. Bye, my friend. Hello, pile 3. Your lighting's a bit different than the other piles. I apologize, but the sun has started to go down on me, so the lighting has shifted, and I want you to still be able to see everything. So, if you selected this blue tiger's eye cube, then this is your dream interpretation reading. So far, these dream interpretations haven't been necessarily like giving me an idea of what actually has happened in the specific dream, but we've been looking more at the ideas around what multiple dreams may mean. But I feel like for you, pile 3, you've had a very specific and significant dream that almost represents like an initiation or in a very like clear and pointed message that is almost like a tower moment in your life. And I feel like it leaves you at a loss for words, because there's not really a way that you can fully translate this dream into, like, for example, if you have a dream journal, like, you can't really write it down. It may be a very non-physical experience, a very nondescript experience. I'm also feeling that this dream in itself is a very balancing and healing dream for you, and it's something that I feel like lasts over many nights, and it may be something that you Okay, I'm feeling like half of you are going to have a very clear dream that you have come to mind, that you may have even sought out this reading for. And the other half of you has a dream that you were just really interested in, like having your dreams interpreted in general, and that's why you clicked on this video. And the dream is something that you have no memory of, but it's something that continues to recur in your dream state. And it's something that you're not like consciously really aware of. So that brings me into our first cards, which are from the Wild Unknown Tarot. And these are representing your astral body, which is mainly comprised of emotions, spiritual impulses, frequency. And these cards are going to represent to me an anchor between your superconscious and your conscious mind, or your subconscious mind as well. So just these various levels of consciousness and how they manifest into your current lifetime. And we have the World in the reverse and the Wheel of Fortune. And these are really interesting to me because they're both showing a spectrum of all this like rainbow colors, but they also are circles, which are foundations of life. Like I'm thinking like the seed of life, where there are all these circles that come together like a sacred geometry type thing. And there's also a form of illumination that's being highlighted in this card, whereas this sun is here, and then here is an illumination from the bottom, or the top of this card now, but they're in opposite states. So there's something about cycles also that is being highlighted here for you in terms of how you experience yourself spiritually. You may feel that you can't ever locate like a specific identity label for your spirituality. You also may feel like it's very difficult for you to have all of the pieces of your life right now. There may be a lot of undefined or nondescript aspects of you, and I feel like this is what your spiritual self or your astral self is doing on the astral plane, is you're really seeking out bits and pieces of your soul. There's a sense of wholeness that you're trying to find, and if you don't resonate with the concept of a soul, it's just more of like a more constant extra present experience of self, trying to understand what this human life means to you and how you can find satisfaction within going through these life cycles and even through the passage of time itself. I feel like for a lot of you, you have had some kind of spiritual awakening, and that's why you're engaging with tarot in this way and in this video, for example. But there's something about you still that is really trying to weed out what is your true experience in the physical world. And there's a lot of your spirituality that is very physical to you, and very rooted into your physical experience, and viewed through that lens. There's a lot of like earth energy going on in this pile, a lot of Virgo especially as well. So I'm going to turn these cards over, maybe read them a little bit. You have 3. Okay, this is really interesting because these all 3 of these cards represent like the chakra systems, complete alignment, and also like ascension of the awareness of one's physical form relating into spiritual non-form. And these 3 cards as well, I don't know what they say on the back. I can guess that this one's the High Heart, I believe. But they're very interesting because this one's the darkest card with these like lighter things being illuminated, and it's a very contrasting kind of energy, whereas these 2 are a bit lighter and a bit more harmonious, I guess. But they all have these like swirls and these very nondescript things. I feel like you may not remember your dreams all that often, and so that's why if you had that one that's standing out to you, it really stands out to you. Or if you are in the group that's more like this is a continuous experience on the astral plane, like this is something that you can't really put into words again. So these are representing more of like what spirit has been trying to communicate with you through this dream experience. And so I'm going to start reading them. Oh, this is healing, not the high heart, excuse me. But since I had that intuitive association, I would go so far to say that this is a heart healing experience and an elevation and an expansion of the heart space. So I'm going to read just a part that's jumping out to me in this card since it's so long, and it says, by tapping into life force consciousness and using this abounding energy alongside focused intention, we realize that anything is possible. Extend the margins of your awareness, revisit a situation from a broader perspective or higher vibration with a focus on healing. Yeah, wait, what does it say? Perhaps the issue is simply an outdated or limiting perception placement. You have the ability to align with a fresh new timeline inspired by wholeness. I'm also thinking of like a circle's round and has no end. That's how long I want to be your friend. That was like a song that I used to sing as a kid and when I was in like Scouts. But this idea of like connecting at a soul level with others on the astral plane and healing wounds. I feel like if there are people around you that have been very like wounded, you provide healing not only to yourself but also to like past experiences. It's like you can time travel in your dreams as well, because time doesn't really exist. It's just a dimension of experience. You can see beyond that and really gain some kind of non-verbal experience of healing other people through this space. So let's look at what this card says. And I also am feeling that you guys have very intentionally selected beings who are meant to be in contact with you in the real world, and you also meet them on the astral plane as well. These are like very spiritual, like soul-based relationships. And again, if you don't resonate with soul, these very like deep spiritual connections. And I know my words are kind of failing me there, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Alignment. You can manifest the life you wish to call in. Look where your desires are being seated. If your plans or dreams aren't unfolding as you would like, take a closer look at the other areas in your life. Yeah, this is talking about integrity, being a vibrational match for what you desire. So there's, again, I feel like this experience, this dream is aligning you to have a broader perspective, again with this card, broader perspective on experiences in your life, to see them in a different way in order to call in more aligned experiences for you. And also with that alignment as well, I feel like this is connecting all of these different, like, this is like energy work that you're receiving on the astral plane as well. You may be in contact with like energy healers on the astral plane, or be doing energetic healing for yourself. I'm seeing somebody who like closes themselves into a protected like environment or box, like a cocoon, and then you are doing energy work on yourself. So this last card says Soul Star Chakra, merging with the divine. So this is a chakra that is outside of the seven, and it resides above the head and kind of connects you to like cosmic positioning. I'm going to read again just a little specific section of this, and it says, we have lived in many worlds, all interconnected. They uphold the lessons they carry as messages of transformation. Their synergy creates the expansion of the universe. Gaze into the place where the light between our stardust can become anything, and collective evolution is part of a grander story. Yeah, when we simply let go, we become all we have been seeking and glimpse the greater dream. So again, there's something about like multidimensionality, about cycles. This may even be life cycles as well. You're somebody who's ascending, I believe. I see you as not really reaching out to ascended masters, because you are like at kind of a level of being as wise as that. People in your waking life may see you as very much a mentor or a guide, and so this energy healing within yourself is really essential to understanding what are the secrets of the world, what is the meaning in this life, and what fortune, what role does destiny, what role does decision making play in your in your life, as well as letting go of the need to make all the decisions, and just allowing for things to happen as well. And so I feel like that's what this dream is trying to get you to look at, is things through a bit more of an expansive perspective, and not trying to control the outcome there. So these are going to clarify what maybe those of you who have had like a specific dream, what is this dream trying to communicate, Spirit? Again, okay, with the dolphins here, I was feeling that there's like a very specific group of you. You'll know, like it'll resonate, you'll feel it in your body or something, or you'll remember it past this reading. But there are a couple of you who have like very specifically ordained connections from other worlds or from other consciousness forms that are embodied in this lifetime, and they're your friends or your family or lovers, especially with this wedding card. But there's something about people who have made spiritual commitments to you coming towards you and being drawn into your life, and it's up to you to start to ask for these connections to be in your waking world, ask for the intention of them and what the purpose of those are as well, and how you can fulfill that. The falling, I feel like quite literally represents like falling dreams, or dreams where you ascend very high, and then sometimes it's like if your focus gets disconnected, you'll just fall back to earth. There's something about being like a fallen angel here as well. And yeah, you're bringing some like grander experience of love to the earth plane, and that's why you're having these dreams. You're seeing love in a different way, and this isn't always like comfortable. Like this is kind of a scary depiction of being brought down into a body, or being brought down into the earth. With the nudity card as well, I feel that there is some fear that happens with vulnerability, and I feel like sometimes you swing back and forth between being like petrified and being really confused and not knowing, like not feeling like you belong, and then in other ways you feel like a very free spirit, a leader, somebody who's very forward thinking, progressive. And so there's this really strange dichotomy that happens between the way that you view yourself and the way that you expect people to view you as well. And I feel like Spirit's asking you right now through this dream just to step into your own self-empowerment and follow your true calling and your true intuitive like notions of what you need to be doing in this life. That's all I'm seeing for you, pile 3. I want to thank every guide, every force that was a part of orchestrating this reading today and bringing us together for this beautiful connection. I want to also send you so much love, so much abundance, and thank you again for joining me in this reading. I will see you in another video. Bye, friend.